Hello, ladies. Hello, all my viewers. Welcome to We Do Women Empowerment Define the Odds. Today, I have with us a special guest. Her name is Trician-Renée, and I got it right. I'm so excited. Trician, I'm so excited to have you on my channel. You're a young lady, and you're doing a lot of things. And what I like about your story, just from chatting with you, some of your changes happened just around, like recently, around COVID time. And so tell us about Trician-Renée.
Well, first of all, thank you so much, Irva, for having me here today. I am just delighted to be here. And of course, have to represent for Grenada and the Grenadians in Toronto with my T dot here.
I like that! Now I see the flag and now I see the T. Wow, high five. I like it.
It's the T dot, high five. So yes, my name is Trician-Renée Edwards. The question of tell me about Trician-Renée is a question that is so challenging because there's so much I can say, but we'll start off with, I'm a proud Canadian of Grenadian and Montserratian descent. This is a big part of who I am because my family raised me to be proud of my culture. As you said, during the COVID times, I started off a initiative. It's called the Love and Light Collective. And basically the basis behind this is to have a few things going on to assist with the empowerment of Black people. Wow. From a grassroots level. And the first initiative that was born from the Love and Light Collective is a children's learning YouTube channel that is Black focused. And the series is called Love, Light, and Learn. So that's what's on and popping for Trician-Renée right now.
On and popping. I like it. Girl, I love the t-shirt. I did not know you were Montserrat and Grenadian descent. Thanks for representing us. I have some friends from Montserrat and thanks for representing Grenada. I love the t-shirt. The Love, Light, and Learn, I've seen a few, the Heart to Heart, and you talk about, empowering Black people. And I just want to touch on that a little because there was one episode with a little girl with the hair where we were talking about the hair. So tell us a little bit about that in terms of empowerment.
Sure. So the channel, the series itself is called Love, Light, and Learn. And one segment of the series, I have these conversations just with regular children. And I called that part of the series Heart to Heart. Mm-hmm. And so the conversation that you're speaking of is with a young lady. Her name is Xavier. And yeah, it's not scripted, right? So they just come to my Soulful Sofa and I just ask whatever comes to my heart at the moment and see where the conversation goes. So that episode was really empowering because a lot of times our children don't feel confident in their skin. And it usually starts with the ideas around hair, and what is good hair. And everyone always wants the long flowing hair.
Yes.
I don't know about you, but when I was a kid, I used to put a towel on my head and be like, oh. And so it's just really amazing to see that is shifting now because there are more Black women wearing their natural hair. Mm-hmm. I've been wearing my natural hair since high school. Wow. Prior to that, I think I had my hair permed for maybe 2 years. Mm-hmm. And it just didn't, for me, it was more of a health thing. The perm would burn my scalp too much. And I just said, I'm done with this. I'm going to wear my natural hair. So it's almost as if these changes started for me quite early in life. And even though most of the people around me didn't have that sense to think, oh, maybe I shouldn't use chemicals in my hair, it still was something that I was not interested in. So saying all this to say, I wanted to just kind of impart the knowledge or the sense that you can wear your hair however you want. Wow. Whether it's straight, curly, long, short, you're still beautiful. And so that conversation with Xavier was just amazing to see that at her age, at the time she was 10, at her age, to feel so empowered in her natural hair, that's a gift that should be shared with the world.
It is. And in your show, I know on your Soulful Sofa, So I'll ask you a bit how you came up with that name, but I like it. And I see the background, the soulful background happening there too. So I appreciate that. But on that, what I like though, you mentioned, you asked your questions about her here. And I know even because, and you said you're a caring adult. That's how you say, because I'm a caring adult.
Yes.
And as caring adults, I think it's our job also to educate our children of our culture, especially, that it's okay to love yourself in yourself, whatever you are, right? You're right. Flowing here was a thing, and a lot of people now is shifting into more natural looks, and I appreciate that. And one thing I wanted to say quickly, I remember my daughter has, a different, like a wavy texture sort of hair. And I remember one person said back then, her hair is so nice. And I remember saying, what is nice hair? Because that's a word we used to throw around a lot. Nice hair means that your hair is texture, like a nice wave. So when you have like a 4C or, a different kind of texture, doesn't mean it's not nice hair. So as caring adults, we have to empower them that way too. So thanks for that soulful, soulful sofa. So now let's talk. How did you come up with your theme, your name, Love and Light Collections, then Love and Light and Learn, Heart to Heart, and the Soulful Sofa idea? Like that really blew me off because it's beautiful.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So just first, I want to talk about the caring adult part since you brought that up. Mm-hmm. When I was just turned 4, my mom passed away. And so family for me looked different than what it was like for most other children. And going through school, a lot of times holidays such as Mother's Day and Christmas and things like that were very tough. And the language that teachers and other educators, like dance instructors, piano instructors, and things like that, the language that they used was not always inclusive. It was always, oh, tell your mom or tell your dad. But for me, I didn't have a mom.
Yes.
So that's why I use the term caring adult, because that fits with any adult that's in the vicinity. So it could be your mother, your father, an aunt, a friend. So that's where that term came from.
Wow.
Wow. Yes.
So thank you. Sorry about your mom, sorry to hear that. Thank you for that. Because I just thought it was a word you were using, which to me, a caring adult, but for you, using it in that context meant so much more for you. And I get the idea. And it's, wow, thank you for sharing that.
So that it's inclusive, so that, I don't know what children who are watching my series, I don't know what their family situations are like.
Yes.
So if I just say, I'm a caring adult, and in other conversations I say, like, ask your caring adult, so they know right away that caring adult could be their mom, their dad, or even just a family friend, someone whom they trust. So with regards to the theme, where I came up with the theme is I've worked in the community with children for over 20 years. Wow. And I've come to notice that there isn't a lot of material that is inclusive, that children can identify with. So for example, books, you don't see a lot of books in the mainstream with Black characters in it, or even just at a lower level with people of color, right? So my goal with this is to be part of that change, to show some kind of diversity, specifically for Black children, but all children are welcome to watch. Because the other thing that we have to understand is a lot of the times when we are the subjects of racism, it's because people are unfamiliar with us. It's not necessarily, it doesn't always come from a place of trying to hurt. They really just don't understand. And so this is why other people are welcome to watch, but I've decided that all of my content will only be featuring Black authors if I'm doing a read aloud, Black artists, Black musicians, things like that, just so A, Black children can see themselves, and B, other people could just get used to seeing Black people in a regular light. There's nothing different about this.
Wow. Yes, it's true.
And so the theme that I decided to have is more of a, I want to say it's kind of like an African feel, like that rootsy type of vibe, but I've added some color to it just so that it's appealing to children. So one of my motifs is I wear these glasses. They're called my rocking reading glasses, and they're special because they're wrapped in Ankara, traditional Ankara material.
Wow.
And so that's supposed to be a reflection of, again, that African roots, because the way that I see it, to my core, I'm a Pan-Africanist, excuse me. I believe that all Black people did come from, you know, our descendants are from Africa. And so that's kind of where the theme and the feel comes from, is that Pan-Africanist perspective.
Wow.
And the Soulful Sofa, I came up with that because I feel like everything that we do in love is from the soul. Wow. And I love children. I love to read. I love to teach, and I love to learn. And so what a better name for my sofa. And literally people always ask, is that actually your sofa? Yes, it is. It's this is my living room. Like, the set is my living room. I literally made my living room into a little play haven, just for the purpose of this. So yes, that's where the Soulful Sofa comes from. And the last motif is I have a cup, and it's called my clever cup. And so I usually drink some water from that, and I say, you know, we just learned something fun. Like, let's take a sip from my clever cup. And that's just to kind of give a little bit of fun to, it's just fun. It's all fun.
So I'm gonna ask you, because then, wow, now that I know it's your living room, it's very soulful, and I love it. I told you I love the background, the motif there. I like the idea, but it's not just, it's the thought that you put into it, and it means something just more than what the words say. So thank you. I seen the glasses, but I didn't even know, you know, the story behind the glasses. So that's thanks for sharing that with us. You talked about, I know you had a child, because I wanted to bring that up. Sorry. Oh, actually, let's chat about your background, because you're talking about teaching kids, inspiring people, children, especially of all culture. Is that something you studied in school? Is that something you just, from you being a child with the hair and the, you know, are those things you just picked up along the way, or is that was your career path or your academic path?
That's a great question. So my first job ever was working with the Parks and Rec with the City of Toronto, and it was just as a camp leader. And I did that my first year. I was actually in the 9th grade when I started volunteering, and then I ended up being hired the following year. So since then, I've been employed with the City of Toronto all through high school, all through college, all through university. And I do have a 9-to-5 corporate job, and I still am employed with the City of Toronto, but I just never quit. It's something that I do on the weekends. So I've done a number of programs. I've done music programs, dance programs. The dance programs that I've done were tap, jazz, hip hop, ballet, and free movement. The music programs were just kind of like these mommy and me singing type things. I've done some drop-in programs with basketball and soccer, just many things. Anything you can get your hands on.
You wear a lot of hats. So I'm gonna ask though, because so it's not because you say you have a corporate job, so it's not something that you studied, it's something that you fell in love with. In terms of music, because you mentioned that, and you mentioned dance, you teach dance and stuff. Are you a dancer, or are you a musician?
I am a trained dancer. The specialty was tap and hip hop, but we, of course, when we compete, we are required to take ballet as well. So yes, I danced for a total of 17 years. And out of the 17 years, it was about 9 of them competitively. With music, I took piano, steel pan, and last year I learned how to play the djembe drums, which is pretty awesome. And I started learning how to play the guitar, and I sing. So music has always been something that's been a part of me, and dance is something that I won't say that I have natural talent for, but I learned how to do it well. So yeah, I love anything to do with the arts. And yeah, so career-wise, it wasn't ever something that I did professionally in that sense, but I am trained, and I do have certification for special education teaching and teaching English as a second language. My background from U of T, I did a English specialist and a major in women and gender studies. And I also went to Humber College and did radio broadcast journalism. So my background is kind of all over the place.
Diverse. But I can see though the women and gender studies, and I can see the media. So I still see, even if you did a lot of different things, they kind of came together at this moment. Your corporate job, your children, your YouTube channel, and all those things like that. So it helped. It really did help. And the dance, the music, girl, you're well-rounded. Holy moly.
You know what? Now that you're saying this though, like this project of Love, Light, and Learn, it really is a meshing of everything that I love. Because when you get a chance, I do have a full-length episode on there. If you watch that, there is like a dance party segment on there that I do. And the point of that is to promote physical movement. And also there's a read aloud in that type of episode as well. And what that does is I find in my experience of being around children, specifically Black children, they're at home, there is a push for education in most scenarios. But when they get out to school, the narrative that's pushed is, oh, try out for this sport or try out for this arts program, which there's nothing wrong with that. But then education, the idea behind it gets diminished, and the messaging that they receive is that learning is hard and it's not fun. So that's part of why I have the read aloud segments in a few of the episodes, and then I have a lesson with it, because I want to make learning and reading seem fun for our children, because it is. And it shouldn't be, that message shouldn't only be taught at home. This should be something that they hear and see everywhere.
Oh, listen, Trician, and I'm so glad I'm getting your name right. You look so young, but you're so learned and diverse in everything that you speak of, and you speak such powerful things. That's really amazing for someone, because you're a young person still, so it's a lot coming from you, and you're very interesting to talk to, and I really like that. This is nice.
So I enjoy speaking with you, Irva.
Thank you. I felt like we knew each other a really long time, but but when you speak, I'm more intrigued. I'm like, wow, what does this girl not do? What does she not know? But the empowerment part, and I can tell the academics, which is going to lead me to another point, that even sometimes in our interests, yes, there are things that we're interested in and we should follow our dreams, but you can mesh your academic life into your interests sometimes, and use it as your transferable skills. I'm still back on the caring adult, that really got me there. I'm like, wow, there was something behind her using those words. So thank you for that. And you talked about the drums. I thought that, because I know it's in Black History Month, I do play, is it the Kembe drums? This person comes, and I really like it. I think those ones are called Kembe drums. But you talked about the drumming, and on one of your show with Jamar, that episode they were playing the drums. So I'm like, okay, she's learning the drums for real. So and as we talk about Jamar, because do you choose your topics yourself? There's a reason why I'm asking.
Yes. So like I said, when those kids get on the Soulful Sofa, whatever happens, happens. I don't pre-plan. I just put out a call and say, hey, anyone have any kids that they're okay with being on film? And whoever responds, I give them the date. Whoever shows up, and we just kick it on my sofa.
Wow. I like how it flows, because with Jamar, there was that episode, I think, when you asked him what character, what animal he wanted to be, and he said a goat, and you said, a goat, why? And he said, because goat has allergies. And then you looked it up, and then you asked if he had allergies. But I thought it was you weren't so bragging, you just let it flow. And then you ask him why, and you ask him, do you have allergies? And he said, yes. And,
he has human allergies.
Yes, he did say he had human allergies.
Yes.
It was even funnier that you looked it up. You're like, why do you want to be a goat?
Goats actually have allergies. This is true, apparently. So that's the other thing is it gives us a chance to see that we're always learning and always teaching. And although I'm much older than Jamar, he taught me something that day. And although it felt like a joke, it was true. So, you know, I think that for me, the lesson in that is just we need to not take our children for granted and sometimes listen to them, you know? Yeah. The other aspect that I really want to cultivate through my initiative is family time. So starting in January, I'm going to be launching a story. It's called Lights Out with Miss Love, because on the channel I call myself Miss Love. Miss Love. Yes. And it's going to be a bedtime stories thing where I encourage families. It's going to be on Zoom. So I encourage families to log in and we'll read a story together and talk about it a little bit and just bring back this idea of the Black family and love and spending time together. And spending time together doesn't mean that you need to go to Wonderland or do something so extravagant. It could literally just mean sitting beside your children and taking part in something with them together. So that's what I'm looking forward to launching in January. I'm very excited about it, and I'm trusting that it will have a good turnout.
Well, I'm excited about it. I mean, you know, send me a WhatsApp. I will do another episode. You'll put out your Zoom out there. We get as much people to get on it, because I really like that idea. But I like the fact that you said spending time with your family is not just taking them somewhere. It's literally sitting there. Like my son makes up games, random games where he always win. You know, just because he knows the rules. He's 6, right? He makes his rules and change them as we go along. But yes, all those things, you know, we sit there and play a makeup game, and I would never win, but I played still, right? So, but thank you for that, Renee. What motivates you? Tell us what motivates you.
I have always had just a love for life, always. And I mean, like anybody else, I've gone through a lot of things. I feel that everybody goes through trauma. Just because my trauma may be falling off of a chair while someone else's trauma may be being hit with a baseball bat. It doesn't matter. Although those are two completely different things, it's still trauma and how it affects the person. So for me, the thing that motivates me is just my will to live and my will to connect with others. And I just have always wanted to see people happy. So that's what motivates me.
Okay, you're a small person, and by in no means does it mean small, because your words and your heart, it is huge, girl. You're not small at all. So don't let the exterior fool you. You're powerful. The words you speak are really, really powerful in your thought process and your caring attitude for us. And when I say us, not just humans, I mean us, like our race, our culture, right?
Well, go ahead. I would say as well that I think growing up, although it was always imparted in me to be proud of where I come from, like my dad and my stepmom, they put me in these Tropicana classes where I had to go to Saturday school and learn about Caribbean history and Black history. That was something that was always a part of me, but I never really experienced racism until I was much older, or I should say overt racism, until I was much older. And that's when I was like, no, there has to be some sort of a change. So that's why it's something that's very near and dear to my heart. And I'm like I said, I'm happy to be a part of that change right now, because every little bit counts.
Thanks, you're right. And however we can, in all the corners, every little bit counts. So, and we need, it's time. We need that change. Like, it needs to come. So thanks for that. Thanks for doing your part. Tell me anything. So we're gonna wrap up. Anything else you want to share there? But can I ask, which parent of yours is from Grenada? I had to ask.
My dad was from Grenada. Actually, unfortunately, both of my parents have transitioned. So this for as well, it kind of feels like an open love letter to my parents and gifting them with what they gifted me. So yeah, my dad was from Grenada and my mom was from Montserrat.
Okay. So I'm gonna go bias now. I'm just joking. I was gonna say
I'm actually a citizen of Grenada.
Okay, no way, girl. Can you speak Grenadian?
No, I can't. I won't even attempt.
You know what? I'm gonna clear it up. There's not a thing, guys, called speaking Grenadians, but we could tell sometimes who are Grenadian.
This is true. There isn't. We speak English. Grenadians speak English.
Grenadians speak
English.
English.
A dialect, but no, I wouldn't even attempt.
You know, my kids are born here, and it's hilarious because though I don't think I speak, because she says that you speak Grenadian, I don't think I speak Grenadian all the time. But at certain words, when I say them, Mom, you know, I'd be like, what's wrong with you, man? Like, that's how when I grew up, that was like a Grenadian thing. Man, we just add man. And I remember when she was about probably 6, I'm not a man, Mom. And I'm like, it's just a slang. It's like, man, we throw man at, like, what's wrong with you, man? You know, I throw man at the end of every sentence. It's not, you're not a man, I know. So, and I remember we were going to Grenada for the first time. I was taking it there, and it was hilarious. She spoke to a child in Grenada, and depending on where you're from in Grenada, the accent is a little different, and certain words like dialects and stuff are a little different. And she was talking to a child there, and the child spoke, you know, the Grenadian where he's from. And I remember she said, "Mom, I have to learn Grenadian. Can you teach me Grenadian so we can go to Grenada?"
That's so funny. You know, this reminds me of something that happened to me when I was in kindergarten. The teacher was doing something very slowly, and I said, "Make haste, nah." And she was like, "What?" And it's because you don't realize that some things are just not to be not to be said in certain settings. That's more of a British slang, I guess, which of course Grenada is the queen, so but certain things.
You say make haste, but in Grenada, where I'm from in Grenada, we say make haste.
Well, yes.
And I grew up thinking it was make case because we say it so fast, make haste, not make haste. But now it is actually make haste.
Yes. Well, no, I said it like you. Just imagine a little 4-year-old. I said it like you.
Like, the teacher probably, what is happening?
I added the nut at the end too.
But you know what? And now that you said it, it shows how as caring adults, we influence children and we don't even realize it because your dad wasn't teaching you to say make haste.
No, but
you probably heard him say it a million times.
Yes.
So as caring adults, we are empowering children. We don't even realize it sometimes. The things we say, how they hear it and pick it up and use it in school.
Yeah, that was me. 100% all the time.
Well, now that we got our Grenadianism out of the way, anything else you want to share? Just tell us quickly, when did you start your YouTube? Because in chatting off camera, I knew what spawned this YouTube?
Pardon me?
What spawned your YouTube? When did you decide, hey, I'm gonna do this?
It was 2020 during the pandemic. I actually had been off work during the time when I started, or I should say off from my full-time jobs during the time when I started working on this. It actually was part of my therapy in a way, because my dad had passed away in 2018 and his passing really, it did a number on me. And so this was just part of me trying to reconnect with my inner child, for a lack of better words. And it turned into something completely different. So it wasn't even something I was planning on sharing with the world until one of my friends was like, no, that's great and all that it was part of your therapy, but now this is something that should be gifted to others. So that's it in a nutshell. That in itself is a long story, but in a nutshell, that's it.
So thanks to your friend, because your therapy is helping the world, you know, and I know you get, because you told me you do, because of that spawned other things for you.
Yes. So basically it's at this point, I've been able to get like a few workshops with some schools, which was really awesome.
Yes.
And really heartwarming that the children said, "Oh, Miss Love, I felt seen and heard." This for me, I can't even, that's worth more than $1 million. Like
Yes.
there's no currency to add up with that. So yeah, it's this whole process has been layered for me, but it's all been positive. There hasn't been any negatives that have came from this. And the last thing I'll say with that is how this came to be was my therapist. And imagine going through my life, I didn't realize I was grieving my whole life, right?
Wow.
I just thought everything was normal. And my therapist said, "Well, what's something your mom used to do with you?" And I said, "Well, she taught me how to read before she died." So that's where I started. She said, "Okay, go back and find some children's books and read them." And I ended up finding Black children's books. And I'm like, I didn't have this when I was small, but this is awesome. So yes, that was the birth of this.
Wow. Your mom will be very proud, and your dad
Thank
very
you.
proud. Your mom. And
turning pain into power.
Yes, thanks you, mom, for reading to you as a child, and you being able to pass this along. But look how it, as you said, branches into something totally different. You found Black authors, Black books, and here we are sitting at the Soulful Sofa.
The Soulful Sofa with our rocking reading glasses and our clever cups.
Yeah, with Miss Love.
With me, Miss Love.
So what I find though, and I wish everybody tell us in a second, your YouTube, your IG or whatever, because your transformation, you are not Miss Love right now. You're a very different person.
Now, that's it.
Do you want to?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can find me first of all on YouTube. The main channel is called the Love and Light Collective, but the playlist with the videos is called Love, Light, and Learn. So that's the Love and Light Collective on YouTube. Under Love, Light, and Learn, you'll find all my videos there. You can find me on Facebook, the Love and Light Collective. I also have a website, that's the loveandlightcollective.ca. And finally, Instagram _ the Love and Light Collective _
Okay.
Probably the easiest thing would be to go to my website because the links to everything is there. So again, that's the loveandlightcollective.ca.
Okay, so that's the love. Is it AND or the and sign?
It's the word.
The word. Okay. Yeah. So the love and that's AND like collectives with an S.ca. And you can
no
find
S, no S at the end, just collective.
Perfect. So I'm going to repeat that, guys. The love and the word and like collective.ca, and you'll see everything you need to know. You'll get her that's her website. Sorry, that's Trician-Renee's website. You'll get her her YouTube and her IG handle there, and you can go in, watch it with your kids. I sent it to my sisters and whoever had kids. We all thought it was cute and funny. I love the one with the hair too, because I have there's so many different hairs in my family. Depending on who you got, who's your parents. There's the curly ones, the straight ones, the short ones, the long ones. So it was really nice, but culturally it was beautiful because they're all Black children, no matter the skin color, the hair type. So it was a really nice show to watch with them. And
all Grenadian descent too, actually.
Most important. And listen, I wouldn't say but my daughter loves oil down. That's the one thing I can tell you. I'm like, this child is really Grenadian because she really likes oil down. And my son likes fish. You like oil down too? Good for you. More rice and peas kind of girl, but
I like that too. So
I do. I mean, I like oil down, but what I like in the oil down most is dasheen and yam.
Okay, well, I've kind of transitioned. Now I'm vegan. So I have to have a vegan oil down, which is tough to find. There's a few people in Toronto that make it, but it's tough to find. But when I get it, it's good.
Girl, okay, I'm not going to slam your veganism. I'm going to tell you what I told my girlfriend recently who was in Grenada, and she probably wouldn't mind because she's been on my YouTube, but she messaged me. She's vegan also. She's like, girl, she sent me pictures, fruits, and she's like, I'm having the best oil down ever. And I forgot she was vegan for a second, right? So I was like, oh, I'm like, yeah, I could, because I'm Adventist, so we don't eat pork and stuff. So I'm like, I want a nice piece of salt beef in my oil down. And she said, girl, you find I don't eat. And I'm like, I said, girl, go marry to a Grenadian man. When you tell me you have oil down, he's expecting something salty in it, and you're going to tell him just callaloo and just beans and
You could still get the flavor. That's the thing. There's certain people that do it right.
Okay.
You have to find the right person that knows what the flavors are. That's the whole problem with veganism. People don't understand the textures and the flavors. Once you understand that, you're good to go. You don't even miss the meat.
You know what? One day I'm gonna come to your house with some vegan oil dung and see if it's the same. And I'm gonna call some people like my daughter who really likes oil dung to see if it's the same. But I believe you. I mean, all joke aside, guys, it is about the flavoring. So you can replace the salty meat, because think about it. To Grenadians, probably salt pork and stuff. And I don't eat pork, so we use salt beef. So clearly it's about the flavors, right? It's just something salt. Just season it well.
Exactly. This was a pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
It really was. Thank you for coming on. Thanks for agreeing. And when I say it, I really mean it. Your heart, your soul is powerful. Your presence, I enjoyed being in your presence today. I really did. And I can't wait to put out this video. I love all my guests, but there's some that you really just resonate with. But what you're doing, I think, is what's even more amazing, because I'm looking forward to, because I have a daughter and a son who's Black, and I can't wait for them to see this. My daughter especially, to let her know it's okay. Enjoy your purpose, enjoy who you are. And I can't wait to see you in the future too, where you're going to take this with your YouTube and stuff. So good luck there. I'm sure all the kids you come across.
Maybe I can have them on one day. Your daughter has a beautiful singing voice. I watched your last episode with Sabrina Francis. That was amazing. And I love her voice.
Well, I'm sure she'd love to come on, and my son, because I got to include him. He'd love to come on too, and he has a lot to say, because we were just watching the one with Jamar, and he said, "Mom, he's singing the ABC song." I said, "Yes, he is," and then he corrected it's LMNOP. Because he finally got, kids get tired of by the LMNOP. He finally got his, because I had to bring L. M, and I'm like, say them separately. so now he's so proud of himself. He was corrected.
That is so
when the
cute.
drums came on, because he's a drummer too, he's like, wow, he's playing the drums. I'm like, yep, the Soulful Sofa, a lot of things happen.
Yes, exactly. There's lots of fun stuff happens here. So
let me know. But thank you once again for doing this. Thanks for the role model that you are to all our kids and peering adults out there. Thanks for really sharing, things about yourself and opening up your soul to us. So thank you. Anything else you want to leave with anyone before we end?
No, just be love and be light. That's it. That's what I tell everyone. Be love and be light. That's everyone wants to be loved at some point. So be that, so that it can be shared with someone else.
Wow, thank you. And that's Trician-Renée, the Love and Light Collective, and the Love, Light, and Learn Sofa, where she has her heart to heart with kids. And it really flows randomly, guys. You should check out her YouTube. So go to her website, which is THE, the Love and the word and Light Collective.ca, and you'll find everything about her. Go like those shows, go call her up, get your kids there. Thanks for the t-shirt. I've never seen it represented that way. But this girl, she's true. She's a Grenadian. She has a citizenship. Okay, guys. She's wearing a t-shirt. She made me feel. But I tried to represent with her background.
It's beautiful.
Thank you. So you see, it's still soulful. It's, on the beach. That's where my heart is there. And I've spent a lot of walks. No, I don't swim, but I walked a lot on that sand. So thank you.
Nice. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest.
Thanks, and thanks for coming on. Remember, guys, to like, remember to subscribe, remember to pass it on to a friend, leave a comment, go check out Trician-Renée, and your name is unique, Trician. I love the hair too. It's all part of, and I like the story behind it. Since you were 18, you were going through this transformation. So thanks for the hair, thanks for the whole, the motif, the person, the everything. So guys, once again, remember, like, subscribe, and pass it to a friend. Thank you.